Hello, and welcome to the SRP Lighting Workbook instructional video. SRP provides rebate cash incentives for demand reduction in lighting as well as other measures. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the Lighting Workbook while also providing helpful instruction on how to properly complete it. A properly completed lighting workbook is necessary in order to receive your SRP rebate, and this video will help walk you through that process. Upon opening the workbook, in some cases, you may be required to enable macros. The Lighting Workbook is a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet comprised of 8 tabs organized in sequential order. We'll start out with the first tab and work our way through. If you want to skip ahead to a particular place where you're having trouble or need more information, refer to this time schedule. But for now, we'll start with the first tab, which is the Instructions tab. The Instructions tab provides you with all the information you'll need for the workbook to process and run smoothly, as well as important information on how to submit your completed workbook. We'll touch on a few of the major points of the Instruction tab now.
First, we'll discuss the optional reservation of funds. If you feel a program is certain to close, or we are reaching the end of a program's fiscal year and funds are looking limited, you can reserve funds. The location of the reservation form and how to submit it are shown in the Instructions tab. Next, the Instruction tabs remind you that you'll need to completely fill out the required customer information on the next tab before being allowed to move forward. All of the information fields will need to be filled out for the application to be processed. The next step in the Instruction tab informs you that you will need to read and sign the terms and conditions that are included in the workbook. Next, you'll read that you can always refer to the Lighting Catalog tab to find the lighting products that qualify for the rebate incentive. The next step in the Instruction tab includes information on the resubmittal of the workbook with any final count correction, including up to a 20% variance. The final step in the Instruction tabs is a handy checklist of all of the required items that need to be submitted with your application. You will need all of these items to be completed and properly.
Finally, again, we'd like to point out the location of the contact information for SRP and where you'll need to send the application. Please remember to communicate through the email address savewithsrpbiz@srpnet.com, so there's a way to track all the communications. You'll receive a project number when the SRP business processing team gives you the authorization to move forward with the project or asks you for additional information. Always please use that number in communication on your project. It makes your project move more quickly and efficiently through the system. Now, we'll move on to the next tab, the Customer Information tab.
This tab contains all of the contact information and building information for your project. Let's start at the very top right corner in the Project Status field. Use the drop box to denote that this is either a proposed project or the work has been completed and this is a resubmittal as an installed project. The project number will be issued by SRP when the proposed project is turned in.
Just below Project Number, you'll see a button, Import Existing Application. If you have multiple locations where the data is very similar, you can push this button to open a browser so you can select a completed and saved workbook. By selecting that completed and saved workbook, you'll import all that information into the workbook that you are currently working on. It's a great time saver.
See this blue bar across the top? As long as the bar is blue, you cannot fill in any calculable information on the Project Information tab and calculate rebate amounts. This bar will direct you to the required blue fields on the Customer Information tab. Let's walk through this, starting with the Installation Information box. For this exercise, we've pre-filled the workbook with fictitious information. As you can see, we've completed the necessary information for the project name and typing in the project name and so forth. As you complete the workbook, you'll continue clicking on the spaces below to enter in the required information.
When you've finished entering the city, state, and zip, you'll come to the first of the blue fields. These are the required fields to unlock the formulas and mathematics that calculate the rebates on the Project Information tab. And, as with all other fields, any information that is not entered properly or accurately can hold up the rebate process. Please note what's written across the blue banner at the top of the workbook. Please enter the customer's account number as a number without spaces or other characters. Any dash or space in the SRP account number will not be recognized. Account numbers are 9-digit numbers. Please remember to enter it without spaces or dashes.
Notice the blue banner has told us to move on to the price plan.
When you click on the price plan field, a list of choices come available in the drop-box menu. Using your mouse, click on the arrow just to the right of the field and scroll down to find the applicable price plan. You'll need to choose the applicable price plan that is posted on the customer's bill. For our example, we'll select the E61 plan. This price plan selection is important because it will determine the customer's kilowatt-hour rate and payback, which you can utilize if you choose to use the Project Summary tab as part of your sales presentation. We now see the blue banner at the top telling us to move on to the next required blue field and select where the rebate should be sent. We'll get there in due time. First, we're just going to move down the sheet to the next box, the contact information box.
This box is where you will enter the customer or end user's contact information. Each of these fields is important. Let's continue with our example and enter information for our fictitious customer. As you can see, I am simply clicking my mouse in the blank space next to the address and typing in the information. There is a checkbox provided if the customer's information will be the same address as the installation address provided in the installation information box. Now, I will continue clicking on the spaces below and entering in the required information. This field, the check rebate memo field, is looking for you to enter the information that will be printed in the memo line of the rebate check from SRP. If you do not complete this field, yourself or the customer will receive an SRP check without any note or reference. When you click this field, you will see a note pop up to remember to limit rebate check reference to 30 characters. Our next field is the Mail Rebate To field. Simply click your mouse in this field and an arrow and a drop box will appear with a list for you to select where the check should be mailed to. In this case, we'll select Install Address. The next field is How did you hear about the program? Another arrow and drop box will appear with a list for you to choose from. This helps SRP track how the program is impacting the market. In this case, we'll select Trade Show. Next is the Contractor Information box. If there is an installing contractor, these fields need to provide that information. Let's continue our exercise by completely filling in these tabs with a fictitious contractor. Next, we move to the Project Information box and the Construction Type field. The blue field is a required box, as we can see from the blue banner across the top. Use the drop box to select either retrofit or new construction. Don't worry about filling in anything in the Coordinator field. That's internal to SRP. The Audit Date field is asking you to enter the date in which you walked the facility and counted the existing fixtures. Let's go ahead and fill in the date. The next field below is the Estimated Installation Date. Please enter this date, as this may help us to understand any time constraints you may be under.
Did you notice the blue banner across the top said you can now move on to the project cost for this project? There's two ways to do this. You can choose to fill in each of the fields, or you can combine the project into a single price by putting the total project cost in the other field. Just choose whatever is appropriate to your quote and your customer's needs.
For this example, we are going to say it's a $13,250 project in total. When we move further in the Project Information tab, we will explain how we came up with that amount for this project. Our blue banner has now told us we can move on to Building Type field. Use the drop box and select the description that is most appropriate for your project. There are a total of 32 buildings to choose from. In this case, we are going to say it's a manufacturing facility. Our blue banner now tells us to enter the square feet of the facility. For this application, we will enter 20,000 square feet.
Please note the year built, number of floors, and % air conditioned fields. These are very important for new construction projects. Since our example is a retrofit application, we'll skip these fields. For new construction, please refer to the video of new construction that walks you through a new construction project application.
Our blue banner now says we can move on to the lighting operation schedule. Please enter at least one operation schedule and operational weeks. For our example, I'm going to enter 2 lighting operating schedules. In our fictitious manufacturing plant, we have an office and a production floor. The office will be Schedule A, and the production floor will be Schedule B. Let's put in 12 hours a day for the offices, Monday through Friday, as well as 4 hours on Saturday. The production floor will operate Monday through Friday, 18 hours per day.
Notice that the blue banner across the top has turned green and says you can now access the Project Information tab. But first, let's review the next tab in the sequence, which is Terms and Conditions. The terms and conditions should be completed entirely and signed by the customer. You'll notice some pertinent customer information is required, including federal tax ID and tax status. The reason you'll need to provide a federal tax ID number is because the customer may receive a 1099 at the beginning of the year for the value of the rebate. Even if the rebate is signed over to the contractor, the end user customer received the value of that rebate, and it may be taxable. Make sure this is properly communicated to your customer. We recommend that the end user consult their tax professional. Take the time to read through the terms and conditions with your customer. There are important details that cannot be missed, like sequential processing requirements, rebate caps, restrictions, and flexibilities. When this is being fully explained to the customer signs the customer acceptance. The customer has the option of signing the rebate over to the lighting provider so that the lighting provider can reduce the project quote by the rebate amount. If the customer wishes to do that, he must fill out and sign the Payment Release Information section at the bottom of the Terms and Conditions tab.
Now for the meat of the rebate application, the Project Information tab. Upon clicking on the Project Information tab, you'll receive a pop-up stating, for all retrofit lighting projects, you must receive a written pre-approval notice from SRP prior to purchasing or installing in order to remain eligible for rebates. Click the OK button. After clicking OK, the rest of the Project Information tab will appear, allowing you to make selections to complete the workbook. As you can see, you have existing and proposed on the left and right sides of the Project Information tab. Before we get into that, let's go back to the Customer Information tab and clear one of the required fields. We'll choose account number and incorrectly add a dash to that number. Now let's go back to the Project Information tab. As you can see, there is now a yellow banner telling you to please complete the required information on the Customer Information tab. You will not be able to do any calculations on this page until that required information on the Customer Information tab is provided. So let's go back and fix it. Here we'll correct the account number by removing the dash and go back to our Project Information tab. As you can see, the banner indicating an error is no longer there.
For the purpose of this video, we'll now create a fictitious project. In the factory offices, there are 25 4-lamp F32 T8s at $35 per fixture to retrofit to F25 T8 lamps and a low power ballast. That equals $875. The factory has 45 400-watt metal halide fixtures. We're going to remove and replace the the high bays with 4-lamp F49 T5 HO high bays at $275 per fixture installed, equaling $12,375. The $875 and the $12,375 combined make a total project cost of $13,250. Now, let's plug all this into the application workbook. There are hundreds of lamp ballast combination fixtures in the fixture wattage fixture code database. We have an easy way to filter that, the fixture filter here at the top left corner. We know the existing office fixture is a 4-lamp F32 with a normal power ballast. Let's select that. Start with category. See all the choices in the drop box? Click on fluorescent. Next, go to fixture. Since the F32 lamp is a straight tube, select linear. Next, go to lamp. The F32 is a T8, so select T8. Next, lamp watts. We know the existing is F32, so select 32. Next, lamp quantity. We know the existing is a 4-lamp fixture, so select 4. Next, ballast. The existing is an instant start ballast, so select instant start ballast. Next, pick the ballast factor from the box factor. We know it's a 0.88 ballast factor, so select 0.85 to 0.95 range. We've now removed hundreds of possible selections and dropped them to 2, a 2-ballast system or a 1-ballast system. We'll select the 1-ballast system. Click on it to select and press the Add button. That fixture has now been stored in our Favorite Fixtures box for later use.
We now need to repeat this process for the 4-lamp F25 T8 low power ballast. But first, we need to press the Clear Filter button, and all of our fields in the fixture filter have been cleared.
For the 4-lamp F25 T8 entry, start again with category. See all our choices in the drop box? Click on fluorescent. Next, go to fixture. The F25 is a straight tube, so select linear. Lamp, the F25 is a T8, so select T8. Lamp watts, 25. Lamp quantity, 4. Ballast, select instant start ballast. Next, pick the ballast factor from the box factor. We're choosing a 0.78 ballast factor, so select the 0.75 to 0.85 range. We've now removed hundreds of possible selections and dropped them to 6. We'll select the 80 watt FL T8 25 watt by 4 lamp by 4 foot instant start low power. Click on it to select and press the add button. That fixture is now stored in our favorite fixtures box for later use.
Next, you will need to add this to the workbook audit, which is comprised of the numbered line items in the Project Information tab. Starting with line 1, we need to select a schedule. Otherwise, the program will not recognize the line and be able to calculate the energy usage.
If we refer back to the Customer Information tab, you'll recall a Schedule A is for the hours of the offices. When we click on the schedule cell, we have 3 choices, A, B, and X. X is the default of 24 hours by 365 days. Back in the Customer Information tab, we entered hours in A for the offices and B for the factory production. We could have entered possible hours up to E for things like hallways and or exterior lighting, etc. So let's select A for the offices. For the room number or location, let's type in offices. Now we need to fill out in the audit cell for the fixture. Go to the favorite fixtures and single click the existing F32 T8 fixture. Now go to our blank cell in the audit line and double click. And there you have it. Your existing fixture is entered. The next cell to enter is quantity. Remember we figured 25 fixtures? So let's enter a quantity of 25. Are there existing sensors? No, we'll leave that blank. Now we repeat the process for proposed fixtures. Click on our FLT8 by 25 watt fixture saved in our fixture favorites and double click in our audit cell below. Enter 25 proposed fixtures. If there are sensors, add the total quantity here. Notice the project notes cell. If you're doing anything that we need to be aware of, such as delamping, removing fixtures, respacing, or anything that would not be immediately clear to the pre or post auditor, please include it in the notes line. It will move your application through the process more efficiently. Check out the green print. There's a $240 rebate for this portion of the project. Now we're going to repeat the process by building the audit for the factory part of our fictitious project and calculate the rebate. First, we need to press the Clear Filter button. All our fields on the fixture filter have been cleared.
Start with category. See all our choices in the drop box, and this time we'll click on HID. Next, go to Fixture, select Metal Halide. Next, go to Lamp, select Standard. Next, go to Lamp Watts, select 400. Next, go to Lamp Quantity, select 1. Click on it and press the Add button. Let's continue by repeating the process with our new fixture, a 4-lamp T5 HO fixture. First, click on the Clear Filter field to start over. Start with Category. See all our choices in the drop box and click Fluorescent. Next, go to Fixture, select Linear. Next, go to Lamp, select T5 HO. Next, go to Lamp Watts, select 49. Next, go to Lamp Quantity, select 4. Next, go to Ballast. We will select our only choice, a Program Rapid Start. Now we have our 2 choices in our Fixture Wattage Fixture Code box. We'll select the top with the H, High Performance Balance, at 216 watts. Click on it and press the Add button. We can now create our second audit line. For the factory, we'll select Schedule B and type in the word Factory in the description field. We need to fill in our fixture cell, so go up to the Fixture Favorites and click on our 400 watt metal halide. Go back down to our audit line and double click on the fixture cell. Our factory has 45 fixtures, so let's plug in our quantity. Let's repeat the process on the proposed side. Select T5HO from our favorites and double click in the audit line and enter our quantity of 45 in the appropriate cell. As you can see, the rebate is now $3,507. We can also see that the 26% of the project is covered by the rebate. Now let's say you are putting in 15 LED fixtures in a freezer area, but the exact wattage is not loaded in the fixture filter. Let's create a custom fixture. Start by clicking on the Custom button. A pop-up window will appear and prompt you to enter a description. Enter the description, and in this case, it's LED high bay. When entering LED in the custom fixture, be sure to include the word LED in all caps in the description so that the program properly calculates 35 cents per watt reduced. Enter a wattage for one fixture. In this application, we will enter 200 watts. Click the Add Fixture and the window disappear, and you will now see the custom fixture listed as one of the favorite fixtures shown in the 200 custom watt LED high bay. Now let's add a line for the freezer with 15 existing fixtures to be replaced with 15 LEDs. Here we will add 15 400 watt metal halide fixture for the freezer on the existing side. On the proposed side, go to our favorite fixtures, click on our 200 watt custom LED and double click in the proposed cell. Select Schedule B as our schedule and enter in a quantity of 15 in the correct cell. When installing an LED fixture, SRP requires the manufacturer and product part number to be entered in this field. You can now see a rebate of $4,861.50 or 37% of the project being paid by the rebate.
If you find that you've missed a line or need to add one, click on a cell below where you want to add a line, and in the upper right corner of the page, click the Insert a Line button.
When you click on the next tab, the Project Summary tab, you will see a nice presentation page for your customer with their project information, estimated equipment electrical costs, and a simple payback. In this example, the payback is 1.4 years.
The next tab is the Fixture Legend tab. This is a protected tab which is used to build the database. Additionally, on this tab, you'll find links to Energy Star and Design Lights Consortium's current qualified products lists. SRP requires that any LED products be on one of these two lists. The Lighting Catalog tab is next. It spells out all the rules for the program. Please take the time to read through this tab entirely and to be sure that you understand this information. And last but not least, we've made it to the final tab, which is the Help tab. Here you can find information that may assist you in answering common questions that arise as you fill out the workbook. We thank you again for your time, and I do hope this video has helped you to become more comfortable with completing the SRP Commercial Rebate Lighting Workbook. Thank you.